In this flipped math lesson, I am going to be taking you through the first page of lesson 4.8. So if you do not have your book open yet to lesson 4.8, pause the video here. Now that you've found lesson 4.8, let's work through each section together. In order to do some writing, I have created a series of slides that I can type in. So first we are doing the unlock the problem. A car travels at a rate of 50 miles per hour. Use equivalent ratios to graph the distance the car travels over time. Graph time on the x-axis and distance on the y-axis. So the first thing it asks you is what words in the problem tell the unit rate. Please pause the video as you type that phrase in. So the phrase you would have typed in is 50 miles per hour. Now let's go ahead and write and graph equivalent ratios. You see a chart there. Go ahead, pause the video, fill this in. And as you can see, this chart, complete the table of equivalent ratios, is filled in. 50 miles per hour, 100 miles in 2 hours, 150 miles in 3 hours, 200 miles in 4 hours, and 250 miles in 5 hours. And the next step is to use the ordered pairs to represent each ratio in the table. Pause it here, complete these ordered pairs from the table. And here I have simply transferred the information from the equivalent ratio table into ordered pairs. And now the next step would be to use the ordered pairs to graph the car's distance over time. Pause the video and fill in the table. Coordinate plane presents the same relationship as the unit rate. So 50 miles per hour, 100 miles in 2 hours, 150 miles in 3 hours, etc., etc. So now that you've completed that, continue on to the example and complete this for the questions up here. Fill in the graph. You can pause the video here, complete this, and then come on back and I will go over the answers with you. So as you filled in the equivalent ratio table, you came up with eventually the answer to the question, how many inches did the river rise in 8 hours? Right at the bottom here, 24 inches. We see it graphed here. Then finally, you'll answer these 3 response questions. Look for a pattern. Describe the pattern you saw or you see in the graph in the table about the increase in height over time. Also explain how you know that the ratios in the table are all equivalent. And finally, applying that information. So Matt earns $12 per hour. There's that unit rate. Explain how you could use equivalent ratios to draw a graph of his earnings over time. Ooh, don't get sick while I do this. So again, just using this technique that we've learned up here. Finally, as you have completed these 2 pages in your math book, go over to the Personal Math Trainer. Use it and all of its tools to enable you to earn 100% on the practice so that it's also teaching you what you've just learned through working in the math textbook. Finally, there will be a form for you to complete where you get to assess what we've just done here.